Hey everybody, welcome to this channel. Today we want to talk about 7 uncommon ways to save a lot of money fast in 2022. Make sure to watch until the end of the video, because it's one of the most amazing hacks you have ever seen. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos and much more. 7 remarkable cash-saving tips in 2022 intro. As of 2022, Warren Buffett is valued at $73.2 billion, and he positions number 4 on the Forbes most extravagant individuals on the planet. However, did you realize that when he was 50 years of age, he wasn't so much as an extremely rich person? He made his initial million when he was 30 years of age, and just at 56 years old he crossed the billion-dollar mark. Then, at that point, how could he end up on the highest point of the most well-off individuals on the planet? The appropriate response is basic: he made the majority of his pay after turning 60. Along these lines, assuming you are a 20 or 30-year-old grown-up who believes it's past the point of no return for him to be monetarily autonomous, then, at that point, keep close by, because in this video we will investigate the system that Warren Buffett used to pound the Forbes extremely rich person list. How is that identified? With setting aside cash, and you can apply that to day-to-day existence. Holds fewer certifications. There may be great food today, and probably won't be tomorrow. On the off chance that there is a frozen yogurt in the ice chest today, you better eat it. Presently, because no one can tell when your folks will get you another frozen yogurt, and regardless of whether they guarantee to get more 1 week from now, you can't believe them, since they have broken such guarantees before because of monetary necessities. In this way, you grow up favoring quick little compensations as opposed to hanging tight for greater prizes when it's a payday, rather than setting to the side 20 or 30 of your pay into your bank account. You spend it on your new garments, cafes, or begin going out with your companions. All the more frequently you will feel great in the short run. However, you won't ever save enough to accomplish that independence from the rat race, and will be working 9 to 5 till the finish of your life. 1. The initial step to setting aside cash is to figure out how to defer delight. Furthermore, that is the thing that made Warren Buffett so rich. Even though he crossed the $1 million mark when he was 30, he didn't buy a fresh out-of-the-box new vehicle, begin going on costly getaway, yet continued living economically while contributing all the other things, and with the influence of intensifying. His total assets soar after some time. That doesn't mean you ought to live efficiently for the remainder of your life yet to set aside sufficient cash to accomplish independence from the rat race. Perhaps you ought to be saving 20% of your pay so you develop a large enough contributing portfolio that will turn out with sufficient inactive revenue. 2. Pass on to an alternate city. When you are a youngster or even a grown-up, city life is all that you wish. You meet various individuals, visit better places, and everything is moving quickly. While you are as yet youthful, you ought to partake in your life right. The issue with such is a reality in the midtown turned out to be extremely costly that you will scarcely get by, regardless of whether you are acquiring double the sum. Lease alone will presumably gobble up a portion of your check, if not more. So probably the most ideal way to cut your costs and set aside a huge load of cash is to move to the open country, or move to an alternate city that is more reasonable. For some it's unthinkable, since you must be in the workplace consistently. However, this moment we are introduced by an awesome open door. Assuming you can take care of your business online, your supervisor will gladly allow you to do that. You may be a waiter or sales rep, and you probably won't have the option to do that yet, as the world is attempting to quickly digitalize. Now is your chance to accomplish something on the web. Simply envision cutting your costs significantly and contributing that sum. 3. Put out your reserve funds. Objectives. Keeping yourself from the joys you can manage isn't simple, particularly assuming your investment funds are, as of now, in many a large number of dollars, assuming that not hundreds. The issue with the vast majority is that they don't have a reasonable vision of why they need to set aside cash. Would you like to turn into a tycoon? Would you like to be monetarily autonomous? Would you like to save enough for your retirement? Not every person needs to carry on with super efficiently their whole lives just to be on top of the Forbes list when they are 90. Suppose you need to resign on an island in Southeast Asia. You can do that with just $12,000 of easy revenue yearly. So before you execute any of the things we are examining in this video, put in a couple of hours contemplating what precisely you need to put something aside for, and base on that objective conclude the amount you want to save and inside what period, and afterward carry out the tips we are talking about. 4. Control your income. It's abnormal how certain individuals need to set aside cash, however don't have any piece of information about their ways of managing money. This is the way the vast majority of the financial plan. This is the amount I make a month, 33%, or a big part of it goes to my landowner and the rest I will invest it steadily over energy. However, at that point toward the end the month you will ponder, how in the world did I spend my whole check? There are numerous ways you can set aside a huge load of cash by having a reasonable comprehension of where precisely your cash is going to. You don't need to dime and nickel with it, however essentially have an overall agreement. Set a particular spending plan for food, transport and different things, and return to it toward the month's end or every week. On the off chance that you are sticking to the script, and assuming you are not, then you need to cut your spendings perhaps. 5. Vehicle isn't a resource. A vehicle is the most wasteful technique for transport since it invests 96% of its energy left doing nothing. Regardless of whether you move around a great deal, you will utilize your vehicle possibly 10 or 20%. Best case scenario, however, paying little heed to how regularly you drive you to need to pay protection from time to time. You need to change something, perhaps the tires. Since it's late spring, there are simply such countless costs that accompany a vehicle that you don't consider when you get one. For example, paying for leaving right away seems like having a vehicle is savvy. In any case, when you figure it out it isn't, and assuming you own a vehicle you presumably concur with me, and it's not just with regards to the cash. The time that it devours to deal with is one more migraine. Assuming you live in the wide open where you have children that you need to head to school, all things considered, perhaps claiming a vehicle is an ideal choice, yet much of the time, it's an opening in your wallet. 6. Stand by one more day to make a significant buy. At whatever point we need to purchase something costly, we begin persuading ourselves by explaining to ourselves various justifications for why this is an astute buy. Your vehicle is entirely fine, however it's not state of the art. You can rent another BMW, yet you don't need to, so you begin letting yourself know how this new BMW will improve your life, your companions will respect you, will draw more consideration, etc. However, at that point when you purchase that BMW you get that dopamine spike, and understand that you didn't need to stay away from that dopamine trap. I have sorted out a way before purchasing a costly. Stand by one more little while, be it a cell phone, a vehicle, or a PC. If following a couple of days you believe it's an important buy, possibly you ought to get it. 7. Cook at home. Since the start of the pandemic I quit eating outside as I used to regularly and attempted to cook at home, and accept me, I have saved a fortune. You can prepare extraordinarily delightful suppers at home for a negligible part of the expense. Of cooking at home isn't generally fun, however the second you learn it and practice for some time, it gets very simple, where you can plan tasty dinners quicker than it tends to be conveyed to you. Presumably, perhaps the best advantage of this pandemic is that I discovered that I could save a fortune by cooking at home. All in all, I need you to remember that cash is an asset that should assist us with working on the nature of ourselves. There is no reason for having a huge load of cash in your financial balance when you are hopeless to recall there is just such a lot of you can save. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and like our video to support us. And turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos. See you at the next video.